Paul, if anybody is seen to be a winner at this point, is it not Kim Jong-Un, the leader of one of the world's most impoverished nations, who's having a one-on-one with the leader of the world's richest country?
Yes, a year ago we wouldn't have thought this was possible. A year ago people were making jokes about how he was young and had a funny haircut. It's an incredible win for him, whatever comes out of this, even if everybody throws a hissy fit and walks out of the room. It's still a win for Kim Jong-un, although I think it does show that he is trying to enact some change in North Korea, at least somewhat in the direction that the country's going.
Should we be lowering our expectations, however, as to what exactly might come out of this?
Yes, I think we need to stop focusing on this complete, verifiable and irreversible. These three words sound very much like they're set in stone, and I think very difficult to achieve. And as your correspondent said, would take years because of the verification. But I think what we can get is an agreement built in, among other things, to freeze nuclear weapons testing and nuclear weapons development by the North. Now, some people might say that that's not what Donald Trump said he was going to get, which would be complete, verifiable, irreversible. But for people in Seoul, for people in Japan, the idea that there's a freeze on testing and a freeze on development would be very welcome, I think.
But there's no preconditions that have been set for this meeting, are there?
No, I mean, in that sense, at the start of your piece, you called it a historic meeting, and that's an overused word, but this really is historic. I mean, we've never done this before. No previous US president has done this before. And we know that it is just possible that the North Koreans could agree to anything. They agreed to an awful lot back in the days of the Clinton administration. But that, over time, fell apart, and we ended up back with a larger nuclear weapons program than we had before that. So anything really could come out of this.
And what about Kim Jong-un? I mean, he's made his nuclear weapons the bedrock of the country's, and one could say his own security policy. Why should he give that up now unless he's promised something extremely solid in return?
Yes, and it all depends how you understand Kim Jong-un and North Korea and their nuclear weapons. I don't believe that they really want them for security. I believe they've always been a bargaining chip, and I think lots of people would agree with that. They've always been something that they had that they could negotiate with. It is their one great negotiating tool. To negotiate them away completely, you're quite right, that would require an awful lot from the American side. That would mean lifting sanctions and some sort of guarantee, probably some troop withdrawals from South Korea as well. But don't forget that the one group of people who are very positive about this meeting are the Chinese. Already around Dandong and on the border with North Korea, we're seeing property prices going through the roof as people anticipate that some sort of deal can be done, which means that the North Korean economy could get a big impetus of investment, and that will come from China.